good evening to you and welcome to Politics Now on Viko TV. My name is Ebukoya Okwelo, and today we are looking at the perspectives, of course, towards the Anambra State governorship election in 2025. And we have a very special guest here, and in the person of the Right Honorable Dr. Uche Okafor, who is the Speaker of Anambra State 7th House of Assembly. Mr. Speaker, you look well rested. I think there's a lot of stress associated with governance and Anambra politics.
It's not just Anambra politics. It's global. There was this book I was reading at the time. Just a commentary about Obama. How he looked before he became the president, and how he was when he left there. So it's just a cross that every politician have to carry. You'll be so undated with stress from the constituents, the government, the people, the local people, calls, anticipation, expectation. It's so much. It's so much.
Wow. But then before we get to our conversation, why must it be so? Why do a leader has to pass through that strenuous process?
Yeah, you see, it's not easy to be a leader. That is one thing you have to understand. It is just like in Anambra State, where you have millions of people. Every day what you're thinking about is what are you going to do, to satisfy at least, if not 100%, but at least 90% of the people of Anambra State. And it's quite difficult because people have divergent needs. If you're thinking about education, where many people, their basic concern is health, some people it's agriculture and stuff like that. And, the thought of having to galvanize all those things to put it together is where the stress is most, especially, in an environment that is so hostile, like, Nigeria, where, appreciation is never, people's thoughts of line. Nobody, no matter whatever you do as a leader, people see that he hasn't done well, he hasn't done this, because everybody wants to be there. Everybody wants to draw your seat and take it over, and you promise to do the best tomorrow. So as a leader in power, you try as much as possible. The thoughts of having to satisfy people to live up to your political manifesto and mantra is just a very stressful thing.
But Mr. Speaker, do you think there is a disconnect between the reality of what is obtainable in reality from what the people expect, and that also contributes to the pressure that our leaders?
You see, I must tell you, as former legislator that has been in House of Assembly for close to a decade, I must tell you that the perspective of legislature by our people is not what it is in reality. What is a legislator? A legislator is a person that is been elected to make law, oversight the activities of the executive, and be the ear, the eye, and the mouth of his people. But that is not the expectation of the people. The expectation of the people is that the road is broken, you have to build it. There's no hospital, you have to build a hospital. My child didn't go to school because there's school fees, and you have to pay school fees. So all these things are things that weighs every leader down. So that seems to be that disconnect between people. So the earlier our people understand what are the roles, of the elected, it becomes quite easier for people. I know what I went through, for the 8 years I was in the House of Assembly, and I know what legislators go through, and I know what the expectation of the people are. If you have to lay or concentrate wholly on what the Constitution says your jobs are, definitely that disconnect will be there, So there was a lecture I gave then at the University of Anambra University, it's called representation, outside the gavel.
Okay. Okay, I think I remember the series.
Yeah. So, and what I was trying to talk about is, I'm a legislator. What the Constitution interests me to do is to make law for the state, oversight the activities of the executive, and be an effective representative. These are the kind of responsibility of my role. But I go beyond that to do more other things. I build school. You understand what I'm saying? I have 11 wards in my constituency. If you build one in one constituency, in one ward, the other ward expects you to build another one. The road leading to Malmo is not good. Everybody wants you to do that. Not just doing that, I've been coming to the floor of the House of Assembly to move a motion to say that this road is not good. They expect you to come and build the road. With which money? You don't have.
How do you get the budget?
You get the money. So these are the disconnect. This is where the problem is. Our people fail to understand, that there are responsibilities for the executive, responsibilities for the legislature,
Yes.
and responsibilities for everybody that is being elected to do a particular role.
And of course, they also expect you to be a philanthropist.
Oh, definitely. That is the philosophy we're talking about. You pay school fees, you pay health care. When I was in office, I have like 3 different hospitals. One in Oka here, one in Onitsha, and one in my constituency, in order to be precise. What do these hospitals do? What they do is, depending on the level of your sickness or your illness, I know where to refer you to. Are you with me? Yeah, I can get to refer you to Amako. So they have a file on my name. Everybody that I refer to that place, after treatment, I will sign off at the end of the month. Yeah, I pay it. So that is part of the philanthropy. And you've not talked about the school fees and other things. It got to the extent that people will even come and tell you that there was something I promised God and He has done it for me, and I want to do Thanksgiving, but I don't have money. So please, can you help me
to fund the Thanksgiving?
And I was like, what? Wow. For the fact that I live and breathe, it's enough for me to give Thanksgiving to God every day. But my idea of Thanksgiving is not that you must go to church and carry yam and cow and all these things. Kneel down and say, God, thank you for what you've done to me. That is enough Thanksgiving.
So they are giving Thanksgiving courtesy of your pocket.
That is what it is.
Before I let you go, now I'd like to extract more from you. So if you, if we say, okay, let's just take you back to the House of Assembly, what would you do differently?
Good question. I know you won't take me back to the House of Assembly, because even if they give it to me at the platter of God, I will say that I won't.
We would like to have people like you. We would like to have people like you in the National Assembly.
Yes, I will not go.
Experienced, who are exposed.
I just read the worst politics you can play in this life is what they call local politics. The local politics, dealing with the local people. So the person will tell you, I look at this person that I know the day he was born. That kind of thing. Our people are so petty, that they will go to the extent of calling your grandfathers and grandmothers name to tell
they know
that kind of thing. So, and that is the problem. If I happen to find myself back in the State Assembly, I must be sincere with you. There are a couple of things, that are not actually going well, which I felt one should look into. First of all is, every law or every bill that is being passed in the State House of Assembly and assented into law, all these things are things that are supposed to be made open. We'll find a way, of making sure that any common person on the streets of Anambra State can access an assented bill of the State House of Assembly. If you look at most of the burning issues in the social media today has to do with this law, the other law, this bill, this other one. When was it done? What is the content? I read other people say, is this really true? Did the law say this? Did the law say that? In the Western world, all you need to do is just type in click on this. Anambra State of Assembly, there's a website, passed bills, you click on them, assented bills, you click on them, and all those files will come up. You click on the file that you want to see, and you read the file, and know what the thing is.
By yourself.
By yourself. Our people are ignorant of, understanding the laws that govern the land in which they live in. And these are things that, if I find myself back in the State House of Assembly tomorrow, we'll find a way of making sure that every bill that is being passed, the process of that bill, yes, we'll do that in the House of Assembly, that, every bill has a process. Yes. And one of the processes of passing a bill is that it must go through what they call public hearing. People are ignorant. Not everybody comes to public hearing, because while I was a speaker, I know how many times, we send a letter, calls, send messages, even send people to go and invite stakeholders to come and be part of public hearing. Because at the end of the day, we are making this bill for you. What I might see as what is good for you might not be what you feel is good for you. Precisely. Are you with me? I am a member representing my constituency. You are the head of a religious organization. You are the head of maybe the schools, the traditional rulers, civil society organizations. So, we all, are there representing the people. So we all get the feeling, but in a very different way from different people. Yes. The impact is different. So you bring your own, I bring my own. We all sit down and look at it and find a common ground on how we're going to do it. That is the essence of the public hearing we do at the State House of Assembly. But that public hearing, rarely do people attend it. They don't attend it. Then at the end of the day, because we have a time frame to make a bill, we'll go ahead and pass that bill. The governor assents it. Tomorrow, you see somebody come, when was this bill passed? There was nothing like that in Anambra. Said, no stuff like that. So finding myself in the State House of Assembly back again, one of the things I will make sure I'll do my best to do is to see how the common man on the street participates in the process of that bill, process of lawmaking, and how the common man in the streets of Anambra State, we know that so and so bill has been passed, so and so bill has been assented by the government, and these are the dictates of such law, so that people will not
comply. Wow, that's a brilliant.